Who is unmuted? Who am I speaking with?
Bertha.
Bertha. Okay. What stone did you pick? Do you remember?
Yeah, the amethyst flower.
Okay. We're going to go with that one first then, and I'm going to show everybody because we don't have Dorothy here that uploads all of those awesome pictures. So I apologize. I don't have the greatest quality camera, but this is the amethyst flower. Oh, and there's some pictures. There's the amethyst flowers. So we see the pictures there. So Dorothy obviously is picking up where somebody's helping us do this. So this is great. But the amethyst flower, as I mentioned, as you can see, it has most of the time when you're attracted to this family, and I do believe, thank you, Jenny. I appreciate you doing all of that. I believe there's two people that picked the amethyst flower. So this reading will be for both of you. The amethyst flower, when you're attracted to this, it always means that you're having some time with change. And the amethyst flower shows a lot of growth and it shows a lot of beauty. It is formed naturally by water and stuff moving out, and that gives it that display of like the flower, like the center. Amethyst always is connected to the other side. This is also a wonderful, when people are attracted to this crystal, especially the flower, it shows that they're connecting to their deeper sense of self, their higher vibrational energy, and they often will open up the third eye or to their abilities to, connecting with the other side. So when you pick the amethyst flower, you're on a spiritual journey, and it shows that there's going to be spiritual connection as well as messages from the other side. So be aware of that when you're attracted to this. This also brings great luck and brings great vibration, and it keeps you level. So when you are feeling a little off center, the amethyst flower or the amethyst will keep you centered in your willpower and your decision making. So I feel if you picked this one at this time, it's more than likely that you're in the process of trying to make a decision and sticking to it and listening to your intuition more than your ego. So it brings you balance with that. Amethyst is also known as the stone of sobriety. It also keeps willpower when you're trying to quit something that you know isn't good for you, like smoking or drinking too much, or even if it's being addicted to, watching TV or something like that. The amethyst always helps us with our willpower. So when people pick an amethyst, I'm inclined to believe that they're in a change time in their life. They're in transitional energy, and they're moving more towards making a decision and sticking to it, and that decision usually means great change, and it also brings vibration. So I think it's pretty amazing that you picked that. It shows me that you have a lot of spiritual growth coming up, and it shows me that you'll be moving in a very positive direction. Just listen to your intuition and your higher sense of self, and always ask yourself, is this decision for my greater good? Don't worry about it being somebody else's greater good, but your own. And that's what the amethyst flower means. So do you have any questions about that?
Oh boy, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm amazed I picked that, because right now I'm in the deciding stage of, do I want to sell my condo and get another place or travel, or do I want to stay here, or just what the heck am I going to do?
Right. So then you did pick the perfect one. The amethyst flower always helps us make decisions, stay grounded. It helps us connect with our higher self. So you want to make sure that you're listening to that inner voice. It's not real showy. It's not a lot of information. If you say, should I sell my condo? If the first thing that comes into your head is yes, that's your higher sense of self answering what your answer for you. It doesn't give you a yes because you want to travel. It'll just say yes. Then you can one decision at a time. But the amethyst flower always shows a lot of spiritual growth and new beginnings. So I really feel this is a very appropriate crystal for you, because I think that you are in transitional energy. Within the next 3 months, you'll probably be moving in a very, very you'll have your decision made. You'll be executing that decision. You'll be moving in that direction. But amethyst flower tells me you've already made that decision. We're going to change our whole life, because it keeps us to willpower. It keeps us to following through with our decisions and our greater good. It's one of the most beautiful crystals, in my opinion. It's very delicate. It's hard to find with that beautiful. To me, it's almost like a snowflake. They're very, very delicate, and they're very beautiful, but very intricate. And I feel that you carry that personality as well. So I think that it's time for you to move forward with what you want to do. And if that's selling your condo and traveling, you can always get another condo.
No. I'll never do another strata as long as I live.
Well, there you go. So I think there's some really good things coming up. And if you notice the middle of the middle of the crystal, it's almost, most of that is formed like, if you can imagine a drop of water that drops, and then it, how it splashes out. And this is how this crystal is formed. It's just constant change. And that's what this is about evolving and growing. So I feel you're in a, it's a very appropriate crystal for you to pick.
Thank you.
So I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Now,
right on.
Wonderful. Well, good luck with everything. I hope everything goes according to plan. I hope you enjoy it. And again, that's one of my favorite crystals, so I'm kind of partial to it myself. If you go ahead and just mute your microphone at the top, you can mute your microphone, and then I'll be able to take the next person. Hopefully I'll be able to get the next person up that has a crystal pick. So,
okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. It was nice to talk to you. Thank you. Okay, now I did have Christy. I think, Christy, are you there in the chat room? I believe, okay, Christy, you picked the hematite geode, correct? Okay, so everybody, here is the hematite geode. You can see this. It's a half of one. I have both halves. It's really pretty. So there's two people that picked the hematite geode. Hematite is now I do have to say, this is actually a man-made hematite geode. Raw hematite looks a little bit different, and I will show you that in a minute. But when people are attracted to the hematite geodes, this always signifies growth. It always signifies, connecting to a higher self and creating. You're always creating. So I feel that the hematite geode always brings out your creativity, as well as it heals. The hematite geode always is good for healing. They sell fairly well because people that have them in their energy or close to them actually have less aches and pains. They tend to deal better with arthritis. There's all sorts of things that the hematite geode does. If you pick the hematite geode, that tells me right now you are needing some healing. So healing tells me that, we're dealing either with some kind of physical pain, or we're dealing with some emotional pain that we're coming to an end with, and we are starting to heal. And that's what the hematite geode will bring you. You'll notice that there's 5 points inside this geode, and this actually these are like 5 columns. That shows me that that's a very strong number for you. And with the hematite geode, we always see that people are moving in more than one direction. They feel like they're being pulled in 5 to 6 different directions. Sometimes you'll see 5 of these, sometimes you'll see 7. But hematite always helps keep, starts taking pain away and creates a pain-free environment. So I do feel that most people that pick the hematite geode pick this because they're in a healing mode. Now with Christy, I want to go with Christy first. And Christy, I definitely see that we have some pain that we have to deal with. I also see the hematite is trying to help you get your breath a little bit more. When you're attracted to this, hematite always helps with breathing disorders. So you probably have something going on in the chest, and you're probably feeling a little bit under the weather where you just can't get your energy up. So people are often attracted to this geode when they need an extra energy boost. So look for you to have a little bit of an extra energy boost, because it makes perfect sense that you would pick this if you're not feeling too good. Hematite also connects to our creativity. We were talking about that early as well, and I feel, Michelle, you picked the hematite geode because you're trying to tap into your creativity, you're trying to get back into your vision, you're trying to get back into pushing yourself forward. You let go of that creative part of you. That doesn't mean you have to be an excellent artist, but I definitely feel you have this amazing creative side to you that you are ignoring, and it's trying to come out again. So I do look for vision and look for a lot of creativity to come your way. You probably will have a lot of dreams coming your way. You need to start keeping a dream journal a little bit. And Christy, you need to start writing again, because I definitely see with this, it brings up writing. So I think that anytime you're attracted to the hematite, you're on a creative reign. You're starting to go in a creative way. Which one of you has the arthritis? Often hematite geodes, people are attracted to them because of arthritis. It also helps take the pain of arthritis away. Yeah, Christy, that makes sense. Big toe and shoulder. Michelle, does it get worse when you eat, and I know you might be vegan, but do you eat meat? Because it tends to get worse if you eat meat, red meat. Yes. So be careful of that. The hematite also keeps your blood from processing that. Hematite helps with that. It helps keep it level. It's an amazing stone to have, both raw, polished, and of course these ones they have hematite in them, but they're man-made to have that sparkle and that feeling. But there's two halves to this, and the 5 always shows the growth, and it takes the pain away. So both of you, I think, picked that specifically because you're needing that healing right now. Yes. So it's really, really cool that you would pick something that you both need with that. Now, Christy, are you having trouble with upper respiratory right now? Because I definitely feel that around you, and I absolutely, with hematite, that usually helps with respiratory issues as well. Not right now. Well, that's good. Then hopefully it'll just stay that way and you won't have that issue at all. So, do you have, either one of you have any questions? Christy, not right now. No? Okay. So just be advised that when you're picking something like that, you're going to be doing really, really well, and that we're going to see a lot of healing. So now with the jade, we saw the jade ball, the sphere. I'm not sure who picked that. This is multicolored jade. So we are going to go to that one next. With the multicolored jade, it strengthens your heart. It helps with kidneys, immune system. It helps cleanse your blood. It increases your mental capacity. It's good for studying if you're studying for something, or you have a big test coming up, or you have a job interview. This is something that brings in a lot of the worldly energies. It's a really, really good stone to have to help with courage and justice and wisdom. It really helps you. Okay, Christy, so you picked this one, Christy, who it really helps with a sense of justice. It helps with bringing in a number of things. Its healing ability is very, very high. It's used in a lot of healing practices. The multicolored jade will be used for palm stones, for massage and that kind of stuff as well. It brings clarity. It also brings modesty, though. It remembers to keep us, it brings us back down to earth. It's kind of showy without being showy, but it is a really amazing stone. So if you're studying for something or looking for a new job, or you're trying to pull on your courage, this is the stone to have. So you're probably going through something right now with that. It also helps with eyes. So if you have some eye issues, multicolored jade or jade is really good to have for that as well. It will help keep, the eye healthy. You can also eat carrots for that. So it's pretty neat. This also brings peaceful nurturing. So it pops up when you need to give some extra nurturing love or energy to pets or people or kids, and it brings a sense of justice around. I always use multicolored jade when I feel a sense of injustice, because it really helps bring that justice balance back in. This is the yin and the yang. This is the feeling of the scales of justice. So a lot of college students, or a lot of people that have tests that coming up, are very attracted to this stone. Rainbow fluorite does the same thing, but it's really good for concentration. It's really good for brain power. It's really good for keeping your thought process on the straight and narrow. It calms your mind chatter. So imagine you're probably getting ready to go on either an interview or some kind of test or something where you have to focus all your energy, or there's some kind of injustice that's going on. So you're attracted to this at this time, not just because of the pretty colors and it reminds you of nature, because I definitely feel you're a nature energy and you're very connected to it. But this also brings that sense of justice and that sense of balance. So, and you do have a special project at work. So it's not surprising that you picked that one. It's a beautiful, beautiful, stone. Now I'm going to show you the back side of it, because this also shows you that sometimes you just don't give an F. So I don't know if everybody can see that, but that one has an actual finger naturally in it. So I think that one's so cool. That's part of And that's just a natural, so it shows you to remember, it's also the okay sign. So it's a thumbs up. It's pretty awesome. So I think it's pretty neat that you picked that one. And with that special project at work, that shows me that you'll have great success with that. And, the multicolored jade is always a really good thing. So is there any questions that I can answer for you? Okay. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that answered a lot of questions. When's your project at work done, or when's it due? Good. So this means that's good. That it looks like it'll go in the right way. So that's really pretty awesome. Now we also had, and thank you so much for the opportunity to read Crystal for all of you so far. It's pretty cool. I'm kind of enjoying this. So, I think the next one we're going to go with is the Kambaba jasper, which is the skull I talked about. Somebody picked this one. And I told you it kind of resembles moss or little droplets. You can see that. Kambaba is a really, really pretty stone, both in spheres, raw, carved. It's a very, very popular stone. I don't remember who picked it. I believe it was Bill. Bill picked it. The Kambaba jasper is the stone of peace and tranquility. It brings calm to chaos. It will bring focus. It will also help you realize your higher goals. So it's a goal-oriented stone. It was Bryn, okay, and it's really, really well known for bringing negative thoughts and feelings and too much ego chatter subdued. It'll bring that down. It brings kindness into one's heart. It brings forgiveness. It moves in a very it's a really, really good stone to have. I do feel that it brings more calm to chaos than anything. Some people look at it and they say, well, it's kind of chaotic looking in a skull, but the crystal skull legend is that they connect you and are the middleman between the two sides. So it's a pretty deep a stone to pick. It's one of my favorites because it's very exotic looking. You can find different varieties of it, and you can have a deep green one, you can have a deep blue one. Kambaba always has that greenish mossy look though that looks like it's been in the weather and it's seen the test of time. And that's what it reminds you of, that with meditation and with calming energies, it can bring calm to your chaos, and it can take you back. It's a great meditation stone to take you back into a time period where you recognize your higher self and your past lives. It's an amazing stone for past life regression. It's amazing stone for past life meditations. A ton of people use it for that. It has a very, very warm energy about it. When you hold it, when you're doing meditation with it, it tends to heat up. It's an amazing stone, and it's definitely an earth energy stone. So most people that pick this are trying to calm some chaotic time in their life. They're trying to calm their nerves, their thought process, their ego chatter and negative energy. It will clear out negative energy and replace it with positive. There are a lot of crystals that do that, but Kambaba really brings the calm to the chaos. Even if the chaos is still swirling around you, you get a sense of calm and a sense of connection. It does connect you deeply to the earth energy, and it'll keep you connected to your ancient being. And there's Dorothy. Hello.
Hi, golly. Kaboom, kaboom. I tell you what, I don't know why I just didn't do this to start with, but I know that my sound can be pretty bad when I call direct, and I just thought, oh well, I'm just going to have to try. Skype's just not a happening thing.
Yeah. Something's seriously wrong with Skype today for sure. So I was just talking about the Kambaba and the Jaspers and how it alleviates stress and induces tranquility and brings calm to chaos and that kind of stuff. So I believe it was Bryn. I thought it was Brian, but Jennifer was saying it was Bryn that picked this stone. It is one of my favorites. I use it quite a bit for meditation as well as the amethyst, but the Kambaba is one of my favorite stones because it does bring so much. It honestly really truly brings calm to chaos when you're feeling out of sorts. This is a really good stone to have. So
nice.
Yeah, so I don't know if you have anything to add to it since you've been MIA for
oh my gosh, MIA, what the hell. Look, Bryn, I'll just tell you why you chose this. At the moment, you'd be really analysing things, going quite deep into them, and you'll be trying to find almost like the gems in the pool, like, there's little, it's a very variegated stone, and it's got depths, but you can't quite see through it, So I think at the moment, because you chose this one, we've got the skull, which is about bringing higher energies down into the body for a lot of people anyway, and it was used in shamanistic practices to do just that, to bring what's in one's upper mind to earth, to manifest light on the planet. So I'd say you'll be seeking those little gems within the larger structure of things. You may know a lot already, you may have learned a lot already, you may be well versed in a lot of modalities, a lot of understandings, a lot of whatever it is that you're trying to specialize in and do, but now you're trying to find those things that are offering something a bit special that not everybody's offering, that you can't just get on your own, and you will be hunting that out, flipping it out, and flicking around trying to find it. Ta-da! That's my bit.
That's great. I don't know if you want to, I did the amethyst flower. There were two people that picked the amethyst flower, and then we also did the hematite geode, and we did the multicolored jade, which was really popular. But I don't know if you want to give a read on those real quick as well, because I'll be honest, Dorothy's a little better versed in this. I am new to reading by crystals, so this was kind of my what do I call my maiden voyage? I was going to use the term virgin, but that's never been associated with
maiden in our midst.
Right. So we'll go with maiden voyage rather than virgin, because virgin isn't a good word for me. So
I'm trying not to say maidenhead.
Yeah.
Fell out. It fell out. Just fell out. It fell out. If they want to, otherwise just carry on. We can just carry on, because I mean, how many have we got to go through now? Oh, you're nearly there anyway. So there we are.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea what one's next. Those are the ones that I remembered in my head. So, and I'm having trouble getting through to anything. So
that's right. There she is. There she is, everybody. Now, you can pop along to Kathleen-Moore. That's the live links. You can just click them there, and the crystal links on each page, they're live links. If you haven't chosen a crystal and you'd like to, then pop along there, grab it, and we will still read it for you. So we'll go back. That's Bryn. And we move back one. I've lost control of it. Hang on.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's the amethyst flower.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So we're back at the beginning. Might as well do it that way. I'm not having much luck with my mouse either. Have you got control? It's telling me I have. Yeah, no, it is telling me I. Here we go. All right then. There's nothing like a well-organised and well-run show, is there? If it wasn't for our Kathleen and the wonderful Miss Jenny saving the day, it would have been a sunk ship just like that. Welcome, Bertha. Bertha's also a maiden to IntuiTalks. She's been on my Facebook for some time and friended through mutual. Now, she's up in Canada way. Welcome, Christy Faust. Christy who? It is Jackie, Jenny, Jennifer's Journey, Kathleen-Moore, our darling over here, Marge, Mag, Mia, my Mags, and Michelle. This here, I chose this room. That's why it was there. She was probably looking at it and going, what the hell? What's that room? Whose room? So I chose this for the room out of the ones Kathleen presented to me the other day. And so this is for everybody that watches the show live or in the archives or whenever, however, and for those that have been gone, like Miss Jenny, who's already left. Now, the reason I chose this for the room was if for all the world looks like a flower or an angel in here, in the included part here, the occluded of the crystal. Now, these are quite often looked at. I'm not sure if this is one because I haven't seen it in fact, but they're quite often called self-heals, and I chose it for that. It's the ability to heal. One thing that happens with a crystal when it's a self-heal is that it's been cracked, and what it does is it actually creates new matter, new crystal to rebond. So it doesn't break inside the crystal anymore, but it leaves its mark. And so I think that I chose this because if we direct our focus, which is the obelisk, the point at the top, if we direct our focus and using clear quartz, we can come from what at the bottom is a fairly cloudy, kind of unclear state, move up into the self-heal mode, and then continue out with a clear focus of how we want to live our lives and where we want to live our lives. Many people have heard me say this before. You can't be healing your life all your life. There's a point where you start it, a point where you finish doing that, and you just enjoy the fruits of your labors, and then you just heal as you go, you know. So once you've caught up with the past, then you just, as you need it, you execute it, whether it's affecting a change in attitude or healing some hurt. But do the hurt the day after or the week after. Don't wait the next 20 years for it to build up and build up. The top part of this crystal, and it is a beautiful crystal. I don't know, how much was this one? Go and
let me check. You asked me too quick, and my brain has not been working.
Grab a link. Yeah, grab a link and pop it into the chat there. Because the big deal about a self-heal is that it encourages that in yourself. The way that the quartz vibrates within your hand changes, and they oscillate quite loudly, like they're easy to feel. If you get a crystal of this nature, of this shape, and it's got a lot of that's directed, when you hold it in your hand fairly firmly, as soon as you let it go, you'll actually feel it vibrating in your hand. And it's not a faker, because you can do it with any other crystal and not feel that. They get you into tune, and that's why they use it for clocks, by the way. Quartz crystal is used for clocks because it keeps good time. It stabilizes the energy of movement, which means it can stabilize your energy because every part of you is moving just like a clock, if you like. It can help synchronize you with the world at large and those around you. So this is why I chose this one for the room. And anybody that wants to self-heal or wants this type of crystal, this is probably the best shape for it, because you can direct it. You direct it at a part of your body as a laser. We're going to talk about that one day. Kathleen and I, we're going to jump on in there, not in the next couple of weeks, but maybe in a month or so, and we're going to do a show that shows you how to use crystals in a really productive way, rather than something subjective. So I hope you like that. I think this is a very telling crystal. It's got a little story all in itself, and if you share that and align it with your own story, that's marvelous. I was going to ask people to choose these, but I'll go through these first. We've got the geode. Did I see you flashing that around before? You had it in your hand. It looked very sparkly.
I did. I tried to, because we didn't have pictures at the time, I tried to pick up the ones that I remembered to show, but I can show all of them on, but here it
As
is.
we go.
Yes, it's right here.
It's a beautiful color that you can really see on your camera, and it's not quite so easy to catch on the photo. But for you, Michelle, the fact that you've chosen two means that you win, or you need to align with others, and it's probably a big part of your life. And I'm not just talking business, and I'm not just talking personal, but in general. It may frustrate you to need partners or to have others that you're working to create a team, but at the same time, there's no getting around it for you. It's a part of your life plan, is what I would like to call that, for the next wee while, and probably for the last wee while. None of your plans, none of your developmental ideas are designed in your mind to just be you. So they all require an external input. And so that's why you've got these. Now, this is so funny. So we look at, it's funny to us, and if Michelle wants to tell you why, then she will. Inside here, there's like millions, if not hundreds of thousands, of maybe a few thousand, but there's all these tiny little points in there, and they're convoluted. They always look like a little pet, don't they? So it's like very convoluted, very complex stuff. And so when you get involved with stuff like that, you notice the two halves. All you can try to do is bring them together to make them a complete whole. And while you're trying to do it, there's so many parts that even as you look at it, each part that might grab your attention, a moment later there's another part. So there's going to be that element, if you like. There's that hard rust on the outside of the geode, which is apparent in the picture. So I will count it, the big layer. So maybe you need to be more open in how you are expressing, actually going on in the minute, rather than performing. And I say that because we've got this hard outer shell, and then we've got this white in between it. So it's as if the outer shell is the model that you think others expect to see, or you want them to see, or they should see, and you may fear that it would be detrimental for them to see something different. I'd like to, the strength of this, really think that. I really would like you to. If I repeat anything you've said, Kathleen, just say, shut up, I've done that. Just shut up.
I think we all see it in a different way, so.
Well, I'm not explaining the actual crystal. I'm explaining why they chose it, actually, what I'm doing. So
right.
There might be two completely different pieces of information anyway. Mags, prickly little mags. So at the moment, you may find they're a bit spritzy. You may find that you really just want people to just back. I was going to swear, but I won't. Back off a little bit. You may feel like that. Don't make me come down. There's Mags. It's that real pushy energy. Now, because it's an amethyst. This one, is it?
Yes, it's an amethyst flower. Mm-hmm.
The amethyst flower has definitely got the look of the rose to it. That's why I asked to be sure, because with that look of the rose, I think there's part of you that immediately feel guilty afterwards and try to fix it. Whether that's an amethyst or a rose quartz, it would be the same, but the amethyst wants it to be healed and fixed, whereas the rose quartz would want to just fix, if you want to make the other person feel better, but not necessarily feel wrong. So it's an interesting energy, and it's very much a prickly pear where it's so good for you, but getting close to it can be a little bit of a challenge, and you might get a little bit hurt on the way in, but once you get past the little thorny bits, then there's nothing but wonderful stuff inside. So that's you at the moment. This isn't a life reading. It's just why you chose this crystal. Now, I love this sphere. What a beautiful sphere. Now, if anybody's into scrying, if they want to develop a skill, you could use any crystal balls. You don't have to go for a clear quartz. But if you did go for the quartzes, I would recommend a natural one, which happens to be dearer because they've got so much of them, than a clear glass or, the highly polished. And what they do is they break up and mash quartz crystal to nothing, and then they re-put it back together because it's silica. So it looks like glass, and you lose all of those lines and those marks and the depths and the lights, and you get crystals like these, and it's almost like you're looking into a whole universe. So they're marvelous for reading. Now, Christy, who you've chosen, I would say at the moment, I just want to hold it like it is the world, and I want to look around it, and I want to travel, and I want to do things differently. So at the moment, I think you'd be quite excited. It would be a moment where, oh, look at that, I really want to do that. You may or may not follow through, but it may be the word travel keeps playing around this one. And it may be that you want to be somewhere or do something quite different. So it's quite a fantastic thing. By the way, that amethyst flower is quite unusual. It was pretty nice, you couldn't use it as a laser because there's too many points on it. But if you held it in your hand and you wanted to direct a meditation with it, it would be marvelous. So that's what I've got with you there. I would say too, Christy, that there may even be moments where you're invited to things and there's a lot more sort of movement around you for the next wee while, and you're looking forward to it. It feels nice. You don't want to tuck away. Oh, there we go again. There's Bertha. Now, although we've got the same crystal, I'm going to see it differently for you, because the first thing that stood out for me this time was the darker colour in the middle. So with a course, I think that you might be a little bit different to the way I read it before, where somebody might think that you're spritzy and you're out there and you're being all bubbly and showing them that side, but there's a darkness inside. It needs healing. There's something that needs to be shifted perhaps, and you'll be looking for that. You'll be wanting to push it out, and that's why this type of crystal, it's a pushy crystal. It wants things to be pushed away from it. Now, that's not necessarily a negative. When we want to push something out of ourselves, when we want to put it, it can actually feel quite cringy. It can feel quite uncomfortable because we put something in and we box it up so we don't have to feel it. But I do think that this will sort of start pushing its way out, or you'll be feeling like something's trying to push its way to the surface, no matter how you try to keep it down. That being said, the amethyst is a wonderful, soothing, beautiful crystal, but it also helps you to connect to your divine self, so that the life that you live, the trauma, the experiences that you have, whatever it is that's trying to get out of you, is not necessarily going to find a tricky journey to get out. It can be come out in a more beautiful way, not necessarily enjoyable for others, but easier, a bit easier on you. Crystal, it is. Oh, it is. It's a beautiful crystal. So we've got a big fat obelisk. It's like, it's meaty. So this is again wanting to heal in particular, but because there's so many depths to it, there's maybe going to be a lot of soul searching, a lot of integral energy checking up on. Do I really love this? Do I really like that? Am I still in love with this? Do I want that? Is this right for me? All of that kind of thing, where it's actual makeup, your life makeup is going to get a bit of an overhaul. You're going to be looking at it. You're going to, again, we've got an obelisk, so we're talking about directing energy. So you're going to be wanting to have a clearer view of whether your life reflects who you are as a person, or whether you've built up around yourself, and some aspects of that have worn out. Have they lived past their use by date. Because it's got beautiful soft, like it looks soft and lovely, I don't see you necessarily throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but I would expect in the next 4 to 5 months with a crystal like this in hand and in your mind, that you will be starting to very much tear down certain aspects, and then you will be rethinking how you do others. So quite a modification, I'd say. The next few months for you will be feel very much like that you're setting off. Look at that, we're back.
Mm-hmm.
We're back. That's absolutely fantastic. If you do want to buy your crystals, you're welcome. If you want to buy your crystals, do plonk along to Kathleen's site. She's raced like mad because me being me just went, let's do this, and she being she said, sure. And then I said, oh, do you have your crystals on your website? And she said, no. So she spent the last 2 days frantically getting these up for everybody, and it's like a superhuman effort to put them out there because at that point I'd already marketed us, and she just likes to please me, our Kathleen. She doesn't say no to anything. She doesn't say no to anything. And I'm like, whipping next, I'll be whipping her. And she'll be going, oh, give me more.
I'm up to the challenge. I'm not very good with the technology, so I'm lucky I have help.
It was fun. But next time on Altered States, I don't know that we're closing off, oh, we are. Next time on Altered States, we're looking at past lives, so that should be really good fun. And next week on Psychic Affair, I'm going to be doing tarot readings, but I'm going to be doing something that's a little bit more in-depth. I'm going to be doing 3-card core energy work. So I want you to experience that, and I want you to see that. I would like you to put your name down to get in here, just like we do here. It's so much simpler and so much nicer if we've got a few things for people to look at visually, but I will also be doing the sessions for anybody that comes into the show. So, oh, well done. Your first solo.
Yes, it was my first solo, and
Good job.
Everybody really helped me though. Christy helped me. Christy who helped me. Jenny helped. Jennifer's journey. I can't even thank all of you enough because I'm new to all of this, and I'm so excited that I had such a great group to help me. But there was a lot of dead air there at the beginning because I didn't know what to do.
That was my fault. All of it was my fault. You apologize to me.
It was Skype.
Well, I should have just done this, you see. So, and I'm surprised because normally I can't use the direct connect. It just pings and carries on like a pork chop and he understands what I'm saying. Otherwise I really would have. So now I know it's for whatever reason my connection's a bit better or something. Now I know that you can all hear me. Then of course I would do that the next time because that's ridiculous. It was pretty frustrating too. Do you ship to Australia, Kathleen?
I do, but I don't include, you would have to pay the shipping. I ship worldwide.
No, that's good, and everybody expects to pay that. So if you get in touch with Edis and work out a price, then she may be interested in her obelisk. Mm-hmm. What she'll do, she comes to New Zealand on occasion. She keeps talking when she comes here. She'll come to me. She'll bring it so she can throw it at me, like that.
That's awesome. I might pay the shipping just so she agrees to videotape that.
That's right. She'd have to be able to run pretty fast. I'm lickety split. I can run like a jackal. I'm just boom. You should see me. I'm up there, man.
Yeah, no, I don't run. I look stupid when I run.
You don't run? I think I had so many years of it, hockey, and I was a winger, and I'm short little bugger, and running down the sideline. No, and I think because I was so close to the ground, I could just feast up that ball. But I do want to show everybody that if you can keep them entertained for a minute, I want to show everybody that stingray.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I'll just grab it, and you can talk to them because I can't see anybody. And thank you everybody so much for helping out because, it really is a big deal. That very first time it can be intimidating. And even when I first did IntuiTalks and you have to learn a few tools, I'd still over 8 years worth of doing shows behind me. So I sort of like, if you've got to wait, you've got to wait, make a mistake and make a mistake. And poor old Kathleen was probably freaking right out.
I didn't know what to do, but I thought I winged it pretty well. Good. But like I said,
really good.
I was really lucky because Jennifer stepped up, Jenny stepped up, Christy helped. There was a lot of help there, so I'm just very grateful to all of you. Thank you.
It's very good. And they're a good crowd, you know, they're always giving me lots of and time and, you know, being very relaxed, when I stuff them up. Here's the link. Everybody just have a wee look at this. It's, yesterday I took some friends out fishing front, and we do get stingrays here and we get eagle rays here, and it's not unusual at all. But yesterday we all lined up, because it's like hooking up to the back of the bus, and I'm not kidding with that. It's just like, whoa, and all you can do is hold on as it's pulling you away. Now this one's a fairly small one, and even you can't stop them once they start a bit of a run. But what happens with the little ones is they tire quicker. Now play it, even if you tie them off, because what you'll see is the purple spots. Do you see that, everybody? Those purple spots on the eagle ray. When you look at those purple spots, it's them warning you, and they give you plenty of warning. They come right up to, because you pull them out. I'll tell you why I pull them out of the water, is so I can get what's out of them. Usually they're hooked in the wing or just under their body. They've stolen your bait, of course, but they don't have a mouth. They have a plate. They eat like this. They just crunch. So they never get hooked in their mouth. It's always that as the hook's coming past them, you know, they've pulled on it, you've pulled on it, and then it just digs into their skin a little bit. And so when we get them out of the water, we flip them over upside down, and then they can't sting you. That tail's got a barb in it. You can see right up by the top of the back fins, if you like. There's a little black barb. Well, that barb on a fish, on a ray that size, on an eagle ray that size, would give you maybe 20 or 30 stitches. It's boom, it'll go right through your leg. So you're seeing a bit of it, but it's about that long inside the body, and the whole lot comes through, and it's serrated like a Christmas tree to look at. It's a serious weaponry they've got there. So anyway, we were all hooking up on those yesterday, and I was the only one that got mine into shore, and we flipped it over and threw it back to sea. Well, when I say through, I mean very, very carefully, gingerly stepping away from that tail and away from that barb, and then just pushing them back in with the handle of my rod so that they go off. But I just thought you'd like to see that, because it likes me that they are so beautiful when they're trying to scare you off. You know, their purple spots, they just flare like lights on their back. So it's pretty nice. So there you go. That's our little bit of interest. And because I was talking about nasty things like that can hurt you, Kathleen really wants to go fishing with me now.
I do. My husband and I do a lot of fishing.
Yeah, it's nice. And fish, what do you catch?
Muskie. We fish for muskie, which is a large predatory fish with lots of teeth, and they put in it. They're not edible, so it's catch and release. We're all catch and release anyways. We're very into that. And this year we'll be going on our first deep sea fishing excursion down in Florida. Neither one of us have done deep sea fishing. I've done some off of a pier before, and I grew up in Vancouver and I grew up on the Pacific, but nothing like what we're going to be doing down in Florida. So I'm pretty excited about that. My husband's very, very much into fishing, so
that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, we've got to thank everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming along. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for everything. As I'm so grateful you all hung in and helped Kathleen out. I'm so grateful for you, Kathleen. Oh, because, there are people that would have just gone, too hard to see ya.
True. They were also wonderful. I'm so grateful to all of you.
Marvelous. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you next week for a psychic affair, and the week after that for Altered States with Kathleen-Moore. Ciao for now, everybody.
Good night, everyone.